tonight and let you know how grateful we are for all of your love and support. I also want to let you know that tonight the role of the soothsayer will be played by Isabella Unice. So let me go ahead and set the stage for you. Our show takes place in 2021 in the town of Rome, Florida. So, without any further ado, sit back, relax, and enjoy this modern take on a classic play.
Not being mechanical, you ought not walk upon a laboring day without the sign of your profession. Hey, speak. What trade art thou?
Why, sir, a carpenter.
Where is thy leather apron? And thy wool? What dost thou with thy best apparel on? You, sir, what trade are you?
Truly, sir, in respect of a fine gentleman, I am much, as you would say, a cobbler.
What trade art thou? Answer me directly.
A trade, sir, that I hope I may use with a safe conscience, which is indeed, sir, a mender of bad souls.
What trade, thou knave?
What trade, thou knave?
Thou naughty knave, what trade?
Ooh, nay, I beseech you, sir, be not out with me. Yet if you be out with me, sir, I can mend you.
What meanest thou by that? Mend me, thou saucy fellow.
Why, sir, cobble you.
Oh, thou art a cobbler, art thou?
Truly, all that I live by is with the all. I meddle with no tradesmen's matters, nor women's matters, but with all, I am indeed, sir, a surgeon to old shoes. When they're in grave danger, I recover them. As proper men as ever trod upon neat's leather have gone upon my hindu.
Wherefore art not in thy shop today? And why dost thou lead these men about the streets?
Truly, sir, to wear out their shoes, to get myself into some more work. But indeed, we make holiday to see Caesar, yes, and to rejoice in his triumph.
Wherefore rejoice? What conquest bring he home? What tributaries follow him to Rome? To grace and captive bonds, his chariot wheels. Ugh, you blocks, you stones, you worse than senseless things. Be gone! Run to your houses, fall upon your knees, pray to the gods to intermit the plague that needs must light on this ingratitude.
You know what? Go, good countrymen, and for this fault assemble all the poor men of your sort, and draw them to Tiber banks, and weep your tears into the channel, till the lowest stream do kiss the most indulgent shore. See where their basest men will be not moved? They vanish, tongue-tied in their guiltiness. Go you down that way towards the Capitol, and this way, will I. Disrobe the images if you do find them decked with ceremonies.
But may we do so? You know it is the feast of Lupercal.
It is no matter. Let no images be hung with Caesar's trophies. I'll about and drive away the vulgar from the streets, and so do you too when you perceive them thick. These growing feathers plucked from Caesar's wing will make him fly an ordinary pitch. Force would soar above the view of all and keep us all in servile fearfulness.
Caesar! Speak! Caesar's, turn to hear.
Beware the Ides of March.
What man is that?
Soothsayer, bid you beware the Ides of March.
Set her before me. Let me see her face.
Follow, come from the throng. Look upon Caesar.
What sayest thou to me now? Speak once again.
Beware the Ides of March.
She's a dreamer. Let us leave her. Pass.
Will you go see the order of the course?
Not I.
I pray you do.
I'm not handsome. I do like some of that quick spirit that is an Antony. So I do not hinder, Cassia, your desires. I'll leave you.
Brutus, I do observe you now of late. I have not from your eye that gentleness and show of love as I was wont to have. You bear too stubborn and too strange a hand over your friend that loves you.
Be not deceived. If I build my look, I turn the trouble of my consonants merely upon myself. Vexed I am of late. Passions of some difference. Conceptions only proper to myself, which give some soil perhaps to my behaviors. But let not therefore my good friends be grieved, among which number, Cassia, be you one. Nor construe any further my neglect than that poor Brutus, himself at war, forgets to show of love to other men.
Then, Brutus, I much mistook your passions. By means whereof this breast of mine hath buried thoughts of great value, worthy cogitations. Tell me, good Brutus, can you see your face?
How, Cassia, for the eye sees not itself, but by reflection, by some other things.
'Tis just, and is very much lamented, Brutus, that you have no such mirror that will show your hidden worthiness into your eye, that you might see your shadow. I have heard where many of the best respect in Rome, except immortal Caesar, speaking of Brutus, and groaning under this age's yoke, have wished that noble Brutus had his eyes.
To what dangers would you lead me, Cassia, that you would have me look into myself for that which is not in me?
Therefore, good Brutus, be prepared to hear. Since you know you cannot see yourself so well as by reflection, I, your glass, will modestly discover to yourself that of yourself which you yet know not of. And be not jealous on me, gentle Brutus, for I a common laughter, or did use to stale with ordinary oaths my love to every new protester. If you know I fawn on men and hug them hard, and after scandal them, or if you know I profess myself in banqueting to all around, then hold me dangerous.
What means this shouting? I do for the people choose Caesar for their king.
Aye, do you fear it? Then must I think you would not have it so?
I would not. Yet, I love him well enough, but wait, wherefore do you hold me here so long? What is it that you would impart to me? If it be out for the general good, set honor in one eye and death in the other, and I will look upon both indifferently. For so let the gods so speed me, as I love the name of honor more than I fear death.
I know that virtue to be in you, Brutus, as well as I do know your outward favor. Well, honor is the subject of my story. I cannot tell what you and other men think of this life, but for my single self, I had as lief not to be as live to be in awe of such a thing as I myself. I was born free as Caesar, so were you. We both have fed as well, and we can both endure the winter's cold as well as he. For once, upon a raw and gusty day, the troubled Tiber chafing with her shores, Caesar said to me, "Darst thou, Cassia, now, leap in with me into this angry flood and swim to yonder point?" Upon the word, accoutered as I was, I plunged in and bade him follow. So, indeed, he did. The torrent roared, and we did buffet it, throwing it aside and stunning it with a harsher controversy. But, ere we could arrive the point proposed, Caesar cried, "Help me, Cassia, or I sink!" As Aeneas, our great ancestor, did from the flames of Troy upon his shoulder, the old and
Crises bear. So from the waves of Tiber did I the tired Caesar. And this man is now become a god. And Cassia, a wretched creature that must bend her body, as Caesar carelessly but nod on her.
Another general shout. I do fear these applauses are for some new honors that are heaped on Caesar.
Why, man, he doth bestride the narrow world like a colossus, and we, petty men, walk under his huge legs and peep about to find ourselves dishonorable graves. Men, at some times, are masters of their fate. The fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars, but in ourselves that we are underlings. Brutus and Caesar. What should be in that Caesar? Why should that name be sounded more than yours?
That you do love me, I am nothing jealous. What you would work me towards, I have some aim. I have thought of this, and of these times I shall recount hereafter. For this present, I would not. So, with love, I might entreat you be any further moved. What you have said, I will consider. What you have to say, I will with patience hear, and find time both meet to hear and answer such high things. Till then, chew on this. Brutus had rather be a villager than to repute himself a son of Rome under these harsh conditions as his time is like to lay upon us.
I'm glad that my weak words have struck but thus much show of fire from Brutus.
The games are done, and Caesar's returning.
As they pass by, pluck Casca by the sleeve, and she will, after her sour fashion, tell you what hath preceded where you know to know.
I will do so. But look you, Cassia, the angry spot doth glow on Caesar's brow, and the rest are like a chidden train.
Casca will tell us what the matter is.
Antonio,
Caesar,
let me have men about me that are fat, sleek-headed men, and such as sleep at night. Young Cassia has a lean and hungry look. She thinks too much. Such men as she are dangerous.
fear her not, Caesar. She's not dangerous. She is a noble Roman and well given.
I fear her not. Yet, my name were liable to fear. I do not know the man I should avoid so soon as that fair Cassia. She reads much. She's a great observer, and she looks quite through the deeds of men. She loves no plays as thou dost, Antony. She hears no music. Seldom she smiles, and smiles in such a sort as if she mocked herself and scorned her spirit, that could be moved to smile at anything. Such men as she be never at heart's ease, while they behold the greater than themselves, and therefore are they very dangerous. I'd rather tell thee what is to be feared than what I fear, for always I am Caesar. Come on my right hand, for this here is death, and tell me truly what thou thinkst of her.
You pulled me by my cloak. Would you speak with me?
Aye, Casca, tell us what hath chanced today that Caesar looks so sad.
Why, you were with him, were you not?
I should not then ask Casca what hath chanced.
Why, there was a crown offered him, and being offered him, he put it by with the back of his hand, thus, and then the people fell shouting.
What was the second noise for?
Why, for that too?
They shouted thrice. What was the last cry for?
Why, for that too?
Was the crown offered him thrice?
Aye, Mary was it, and he put it by thrice, every time gentler than other, and in every putting by, mine honest neighbor shouted.
Who offered him the ground?
Why, Antony,
Tell us the manner of it, gentle Casca.
I can as well be hanged as tell the manner of it. It was mere foolery. I did not mark it. I saw Miss Antony offer him a crown. Yet 'twas not a crown neither. 'Twas one of these coronets. And as I told you, he put it by once. But for all that, to my thinking, he would have fain have had it. Then she offered it to him again. But then he put it by again.
chapped hands and threw up their sweaty nightcaps and uttered such a deal of stinking breath that Caesar had refused the crown that it had almost choked Caesar, for he swooned and fell down at it. And for my own part, I durst not laugh for fear of opening my lips and receiving the bad air.
But soft, I pray you. What, did Caesar swoon?
He fell down at the marketplace and foamed at the mouth and was speechless.
'Tis very light. He hath the falling sickness.
No, Caesar hath it not. But you and I, and honest Casca, we have the falling sickness.
I know not what you mean by that, but I am sure Caesar fell down. If the tag-rag people did not clap and hiss him according to as he pleased and displeased them, as they used to do the players in the theater, I am no true man.
What said he when he came unto himself?
Mary, before he fell down, when he perceived the common herd was glad he refused the crown, he plucked me out his double leg and offered them his throat to cut. And I had been a man of any occupation, and I had not taken him at a word, I would I might go to hell among the roads. And so he fell. When he came to himself again, he said that if he had done or said anything amiss, he desired their worships to think it was his infirmity. 3 or 4 wenches where I stood and cried, "Alas, good soul," and forgave him with all their hearts. But there's no heed to be taken of them. If Caesar had stabbed their mothers, they would have done no less.
And after that he came thus sad away?
Aye.
Did Cicero say anything?
Aye, he spoke Greek.
To what effect?
Nay, can I tell you that I'll never look you in the face again. But those that understood him smiled at one another and shook their heads. But for mine own part, it was Greek to me. I could tell you more news too. Marulus and Flavius were pulling scarves on Caesar's images or put to silence. Very well. There were more foolery yet if I could remember it.
Casca, will you sup with me tonight?
Oh, no, I'm promised for it.
Will you dine with me tomorrow?
I, if I be alive, and your mind cold, and your dinner worth eating.
Good. I will expect you.
Do so. Farewell, both.
What a blunt fellow is this going to be. She was quick better when she went to school.
So is she now in execution of any bold or noble enterprise. However, she puts on this tardy form. This rudeness is a sauce to her good wit, which gives men stomach to digest her words with better appetite.
So it is. For this present, I will leave you. Tomorrow, if you please to speak with me, I will come home to you, or you will. Come home to me, and I will wait for you.
I will do so. Till then, think of the world. Well, Brutus, thou art noble, yet I see thy honorable metal can be wrought from that it is disposed. Therefore it is meet that noble minds keep ever with their lives. For who so firm that they cannot be seduced? Caesar bears me hard, but he loves Brutus. If I were Brutus now and he were Cassia, he should not be living. I will, this night, in several hands, and at his windows throw, as if coming from several citizens, writings, all tending to the great opinion Rome holds of his name, wherein, obscurely, Caesar's ambitions will be glanced at, and after this, let Caesar seat him sure, for we will shake him or worse days endure. Who's there?
A Roman!
Casca, by your voice.
Your ear is good. Cassio, what night is this?
A very pleasing night to honest men.
Whoever knew the heavens meant as so?
Those that have known the earth so full of faults. For my part, I have walked about the street, submitting me unto the perilous night, and thus unbraced, Casca, as you see, have bared my bosom to the thunderstone. And when the cross blue lightning seemed to open the breast of heaven, I did present myself, even in the aim and very flash of it.
But wherefore did you so much tempt the heavens? It is the part of men to fear and tremble when the most mighty gods by token send such dreadful heralds to astonish us.
Now could I, Casca, name to thee a man most like this dreadful night, that thunders, lightens, opens graves, and roars, as doth the lion in the Capitol. A man no mightier than thyself or me in personal action, yet prodigious grown, and fearful as these strange eruptions are.
'Tis Caesar that you mean, is it not, Cassio?
Let it be who it is.
Indeed. They say the senators tomorrow mean to establish Caesar as a king. He shall wear his crown by sea and land in every place save here in Italy.
I know where I will wear this dagger, then. Cassia from bondage will deliver Cassia. There are new gods you make the weak most strong. There are new gods you tyrants do defeat. Nor stone tower, nor walls of beaten brass, nor airless dungeon, nor strong links of iron can be retentive to the strength of spirit. But life, being weary of these worldly bars, never lacks the power to dismiss itself. If I know this, know all the world besides, that part of tyranny that I do bear, I can shake off at pleasure.
So can I. So every bondman in his own hand bears power to cancel his own captivity.
And why should Caesar be a tyrant then? Poor man, I know he would not be a wolf, but that he sees the Romans are but sheep. He were no lion, were not Romans hinds. Those that with haste seek to make a mighty fire, begin it with weak straws. What trash is Rome? What rubbish and what offal, when it serves for the base matter to illuminate so vile a thing as Caesar? But oh grief, where hast thou led me? I perhaps say this before a willing bondman. Then I know my answers must be made, but I am armed, and dangers are to me indifferent.
You speak to Casca, and to such a man that is no fearing telltale. Hold my hand. Be factious for redress of all these griefs, and I will set this foot of mine as far as who goes farthest.
There's a bargain made.
Thou sleepest, wake and see thyself, shall roam, etc. Speak, strike, redress. Brutus, thou sleepest, awake. Such instigations have been often dropped where I have looked them up. Shall roam, etc. Thus must I piece it out. Shall Rome stand under one man's awe? What, Rome? My ancestors did from the streets of Rome the Tarquin Tribune was called a king. Speak, strike, redress. And I entreat you to speak and strike. Oh, Rome, I make thee promise, if the redress will follow, thou receive thy full petition at the hand of Brutus.
Sir, March has wasted 15 days.
'Tis good. Go to the door. Somebody knocks. It's Cassia first did wet me against Caesar, I have not slept. It's been the acting of a dreadful thing in the first commotion. All the interims like a phantasma or a hideous dream. The genius and the mortal instruments are then in council, and the state of man, like to a small kingdom, suffers then the nature of an insurrection.
Sir, since your sister Cassia at the door, we does desire to see you.
Is she alone?
No, sir, there are more with her.
Do you know them?
No, sir, their hats are plucked about their ears, and half their faces buried in their cloaks, that by no means I may discover them by any mark of favor.
Let them enter. They are the faction. Oh, conspiracy. Shamest thou to show thy dreadful brows by night, when evils are most free? Oh, then by day, where wilt thou find a cavern dim enough to mask thy